So, hey, we're here. We're chatting already.
We're chatting.
Welcome to Off the Mat. I'm Laurie Andriacchio, your host, and we are here to help you create the life of your dreams holistic style. So addressing the complete you, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And my wonderful guests will each week not only share their amazing inspiration, but they'll also give you tips and tools so you can rock the life of your dreams and create it your way. So today, get ready to be grateful. I have Matt Taylor here with me. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. This is amazing. Thank you.
Yes, and you are amazing. We're having a little love fest
Well,
here.
I know, already.
Just, it's wonderful. But Matt is the natural guinea pig. You've been subjecting yourself to natural things, remedies,
yes,
therapies, and seeing how they work for you.
Yeah. Trying to take the fear out of natural. That's what I say.
It's such a bizarre thing, but it actually, there's fear.
It is. Yeah. We have so much more education nowadays about pharmaceuticals and pills and things that we can take, but we don't have as much education, information, empowerment for natural wellness.
Right.
And I believe that the two go hand in hand. I'm not one of those
absolutely.
people that says stop taking your medications, but I believe that natural remedies, natural wellness, spiritual exercises, growth exercises can only help to enhance the benefits of medication, of Western medicine. And so, yeah, as the natural guinea pig, I try to experiment with my own life by doing research, learning, talking to people, and then sharing that with the world, and so that people aren't as scared, to try something like flotation therapy, meditation. They just are like, oh, if that guy can do it, maybe I can.
Why not? Yeah.
So that's the natural guinea pig.
And yeah, that's it.
That's
okay,
it.
we're done.
We're done. Here, bye.
See ya. But yeah, at the top of that list though, gratitude.
Gratitude,
So,
yeah.
big one. And
yes.
Wait, I just have to do this. Okay. Because Matt brought me a little, you also are dabbling, more
essential
than dabbling,
oils, yes. Essential oils are
so.
a huge part of my life. So we brought a blend by Young Living Essential Oils called Gratitude,
And I'm gonna do this
which
again,
I use every single day. Yeah, I'll put a little in my hand too.
I wish you could smell this, because, and this essential oil thing is more than just a pretty aroma. It really, it goes into your olfactory senses,
right.
and it changes chemistry.
It does. It changes a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, it's the only way out of all of our senses. It's the only sense of smell where we bypass the brain, the reasoning part of our brain. So when you smell something, you immediately feel, and you can't think yourself out of it. Like when we see something, we have to say, "Oh, do I like that? Do I?" When we hear something, we think, "Oh, is that a sound of a school bus?" But when you smell something, you instantly feel. And you are taken to a point in time or an emotional state. You can't think your way out of it, which I love because I can think my way out of a lot of things, most things.
So like,
I'm an overthinker.
on top of like that, you smell this and you're just inhaling gratitude.
You're inhaling gratitude, yes, yeah. And it makes me, and the more you practice it, which that's what we're going to talk about a little bit right now, is a gratitude practice. The more you do it, the easier it is to snap right to a different mindset, to help control emotions. And to get to a good place, right?
So let's hit it. You wanna hit it?
Yeah, we were going to start out with a little gratitude practice, because this is something that, so for the last year of my life, I've really gotten into doing this daily, forcing myself. And the more I learn about it, the more I appreciate it, and the more I study it, the more I realize the scientific reasons behind gratitude, building new neural pathways in the brain to actually change the way we think about life. When we see something, when we interact with something, and a circumstance happens to us, we actually respond differently in a gratitude practice. So what easier way to reformat your life than by taking a few minutes every morning and every night to focus on gratitude? It's not just a feeling that happens at Thanksgiving, right? It's not just a one-day thing. It can actually totally reformat the course of your day and your week and your month and your year. So let's do a little gratitude practice with everyone, just a couple of minutes. Let's start with a really good deep breath. And if you've got some oil or something that smells good, breathe that in. And in the 3 steps, the first thing I want you to just think of is something that you're grateful for. Something in your life that comes to mind. If you don't have a piece of paper to write it down or a journal, then say it out loud. So it can be anything for you. I'll just say I am grateful for this opportunity right now because I am overwhelming. It's a real feeling of gratitude just to be here with Lori, to be doing this. This is my dream, is to share with the world. So I'm really grateful for that.
This is kind of going to sound cheesy, but I was thinking the same thing.
That's okay.
I'm grateful to be
Yeah, we
sitting
can have
next
the
to
same
you
thing. Yeah.
and sharing this experience with you.
So what is your thing? What is something that just naturally pops into your mind when you think of gratitude? What comes to mind? That's the easy one, right?
Yeah.
So then we'll take a second nice deep breath. And now I want you to think of a person that you are grateful for, someone in your life who maybe makes you feel wonderful, loved, maybe someone who's challenged you, maybe someone who's actually not been the nicest person in the world, but has brought you to where you are today. For some of us, it's a teacher from many years ago who challenged us. It could be a parent, it could be a family member, someone in your life who has shaped who you are. And if you don't have a piece of paper, write that person's name down, or to send them a text message thanking them right now, which is a beautiful thing to do. Then you can just say it out loud. So I am grateful for my father today. My father, an amazing man, and only recently have we had the opportunity to have some really beautiful moments together and start sharing our stories. And I'm grateful for that he's been willing to be humble enough to talk with me and to share about his life and his experiences in a huge way. So who are you grateful for?
Oh,
There's
wow,
so
many. But of course, Mom comes to
There you go.
right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Mom, for always being there, supporting, and sometimes butting heads quite often.
Yep.
And that's part of the experience that you're gifted.
Yes.
But always being her amazingly giving self too.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And so who are you grateful for? Take a second to think of that person. And then we'll go into a third nice big deep breath. And exhale. Now the third step is a little more difficult. I want you to think of something that you're absolutely not grateful for right now. Like, think of a circumstance. Could it be your job? Is it the amount of money in your bank account? Is it someone who just hurt you in a way? Think of something that when you think of gratitude in this person or this circumstance or this experience in life, you absolutely do not feel gratitude. And I want you to say or write down, I am grateful for this thing. This is where it gets weird, and this is where the science, the neuroscience comes into gratitude. It's kind of manifesting, and that word is maybe overused by some people. We throw out manifesting a lot, but it's planning to be grateful for that at some point in the future.
Sure.
You know that by saying this, and it might take a lot of times. You might have to say it over and over and over again. You may have to write it over and over and over again. But eventually, this hardship in your life is going to be something that you will look back on with gratitude, and it will kind of well up from your heart, and you will be able to say it. So it's saying, trusting that if I put this out there, it's going to happen. And so for me, I'm a 40-year-old man who's recently shut down his massage practice of 13 years. I moved home with my parents. My awesome parents are letting me live at home. It takes a lot of humility to do that and to get over myself. But I'm in sort of a nebulous. I don't know exactly where my path is going right now. And that's scary. It's really, really scary. Finances aren't great. But I am grateful for it because I know that this vulnerable time in my life, this time of introspection, sharing my story, beginning to talk about a lot of the hardships, the difficult things that are really scary to talk about and sharing with the world, that this is gonna be one of the most amazing times in my life. As I look back, when I write my book someday, I'm gonna say that time when I moved home with my parents as I turned 40, which most people would be like, oh, what a loser. Who does that? But I did it. This time is what I'm gonna be grateful for.
I mean, how amazing that you're giving yourself that. And
that I've had this opportunity, that I'm blessed and lucky enough to have the opportunity, So
and
thanks, Mom and Dad.
And, big thanks.
That's huge.
And you're actually, I mean, not to shift this, but but you're doing the practice that you're already doing it because you're being grateful for the challenge in the moment that you're being challenged.
Yes,
with
and
it.
that's exactly it. So when I started writing about this, maybe 6 months ago, when I made the decision to move out of Center City, Philadelphia, to the burbs, after being a city guy my whole adult life, to shut down a practice that has sustained me for more than a decade. When I made that decision, it was like, I better start writing this down. And I didn't feel it. But now it's pretty quickly that, I am overwhelmed with gratitude for it, even though it's scary. Sure. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude already. So I am living proof that it does work. I burn new neural pathways into my brain to find the joy, to find the gratitude, the happiness in a time where, you know, I'm living in one of my brother's, you know, the spare room in my parents' house, like with me and my cat. Like which really could sound really pathetic and sad to some people, but it's beautiful. Like, who gets that opportunity? Who gets the chance to go home again at 40 and to rebuild and to re-meet your parents, you know, to meet your parents on a different level and to build new friendships and a new relationship, reconnect with people from my past.
It is all your perspective.
Mary
Poppins was right.
Mary Poppins was right. It is.
Second week in a row, we're quoting Mary Poppins.
Maybe it's a theme. It's a theme. I love it.
But I mean, sure, it's all your frame of mind.
Yeah.
It's
And it becomes a reality.
Yes.
Because look at me. I'm sitting on a show talking to this amazing lady. Like, what? I mean, and I just had a huge podcast interview. I launched my own podcast. I've got a bunch of other interviews coming up. People are coming out of the woodwork asking me to share my story. And I think that a part of that is I made it happen by forcing myself to be to feel grateful for it, for this chance. In the 2.5 months I've been living out with my parents, more opportunities have emerged than ever in my life before. There you go.
Coincidence?
It's not.
I think not.
It is, yes. It's the truth of gratitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go figure.
Go figure. It works. It works.
It does. So yeah, when you know your mom and dad, or you know whoever your caretaker was when you were little, say your prayers before you go to bed, no matter what your beliefs are.
Yes.
That gratitude. What are you grateful for?
Taking stock of your life, acknowledging your life. And gratitude. That's the first thing I learned, is that gratitude makes us realize that we do have a powerful place in the world. Yeah. And I've gone through drug addiction, crystal meth addiction. I've gone through loneliness, depression, dark times, apathy, which I've learned apathy and depression are so closely related. When we feel like, when we've burned ourselves out because I keep trying to do this and trying to do this, and I don't see the bank account filling up, or I don't see any positive repercussions from it, we give up. We become apathetic. We think, you know, why keep bothering? Why keep trying? You know, who wants to hear my story? Who cares about me? Sure. And that leads to depression. It's when we are apathetic, when we feel like our place in the world doesn't matter, then we find depression. But gratitude makes us realize, oh, actually, I've done this, and I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of pretty cool things that have impacted others or that have helped the world. And so gratitude has helped to pull me out of really dark places.
Well, this is a perfect moment to pause. We're going to stop for little commercial and hang around too, because at the end of that we're going to see a little video from you.
Get ready.
And we're going to come back with more of your story and these wonderful gratitude moments. Yes. So we'll be right back.
Marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are Temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind-the-scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me. Thanks, Liz. A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one,
back. That video just made me smile a
Me too.
lot.
At myself.
It really did. Perfect. I mean, we're back here on Off the Mat. Hello, I'm Laurie with Matt Taylor, the natural guinea pig. So again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Gratitude. The
Yeah, it's
Off the Mat Gratitude Edition.
I love that. I love that.
Instead of
We're
pumpkin
feeling it in the
spice for
air.
gratitude.
Good. I'm already sick of pumpkin spice. Come on, we all are.
Anyway, so yeah, great video.
Thank you.
You know, a little snippet of what you're about.
Yeah. Yeah, which is about sharing, honestly. My journey, as I try to not define myself this way, but I find that the place that I'm at in my life right now, a lot of it is defined by the fact that I am an HIV positive gay man coming out of about 2 years out of a crystal meth addiction. And I had a really amazing friend challenge me on this. She said, but you say you don't define yourself that way, yet that's how you lead. And I've realized that I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey of figuring myself out and of healing, of learning to accept my past, accept my present, hope for a better future, and to believe that I deserve good things in my life. And that's what my videos, which I share every day on Instagram TV, and on Facebook, I make a little video on Matt's Mind or Moments of Gratitude, where I just force myself to share honestly and vulnerably what I'm going through. So I cry a lot in my videos, and I share those difficult moments, which a lot of people don't like. It makes people very uncomfortable when they see someone crying.
Yeah, sometimes it's gotta get a little ugly before it gets,
because
uncomfortable.
right. I mean, I'm trying to not just show that I'm always smiling and that I'm always goofy and I'm always happy. There are times that I struggle, and I'm grateful for those really dark moments. So
I think there is a misconception too about all this work that we're doing and all that it is sunshine and rainbows 100% of the time.
Exactly.
That's what you're striving to achieve. I mean, we're human. We're going to have the ebb and flow.
We have to have the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
We have to
Why else are
be
we
human.
here?
Right.
Yeah.
If someone is only projecting or portraying the ups, don't trust them. That's scary. That's the person. That's the person that they're probably not really doing the deep work and diving in, because we need to share vulnerably. And if you look at Gary Vee and other big names in social media, we're moving towards that social media is going to become a place for people to be real, which it's not. We're sort of starting to get there, but it's still it's hashtag this and filter that. But it's going to become about true honesty and transparency and healing, because that's what the world needs. We're going to it's got to have to change, because we got higher rates of loneliness, depression, sadness, suicide rates are going up because of this world of scrolling and of numbing ourselves. And so we've got to make that change. And so I'm trying to be, someone who's on the forefront of that, because I know I need it for my life. I know I've needed it.
That's how it starts. You do it for you.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I know that I'm not someone. I'm not perfect. I could slip back into addiction at any point.
You are perfect.
Well, actually, yes. I'm not perfect in the definition that we look at it, which means which the societal definition is one who does not have faults.
Exactly.
That's perfection. I am the opposite of that. I am full of faults, and I love that. That is why life is perfect, because I am filled with faults, and my choices from the past have not all been good ones, but they've all been my choices, and I own them. So, having walked right into a crystal meth addiction, people often ask me, they're like, how does that happen? You're a wellness guy. You know better. I'm not dumb. I contracted HIV, not because, I knew I was in a shame spiral. I had a lot of self-loathing about myself, and I chose to drop my guard. I chose to stop being careful, and I own that. Because that's my honest truth. It doesn't feel good to say that, to think about that in my past, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it now, because now I have a story. It helps me to connect with other people. When they look at a middle-aged white guy, middle-class white guy, a lot of people are like, you haven't suffered, you haven't struggled, but I have. We all do, and everyone's story is worth sharing, which I didn't believe that about myself.
And everyone's struggles are different. So what you think is a big, huge struggle, or a minute struggle, is someone else's huge struggle, and there's you can't judge that.
And everything's relative.
But
everything's relative. We all take it and process it in our own way, and we can do damage.
And something that's really tiny to you could be devastating to someone else, and that's not your call to make.
Yes, because and
the other thing, which is hard, I think you can probably relate to this, I'm sure, being in a having a healing practice, trying to help others, that you want to heal them.
Yep.
You want to make them better.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not your job either.
Nope, and I don't have it's not in my wheelhouse. I
means-
can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
do it for someone
But
else.
you know, with good intention, sometimes we come into this. I mean, I'm way guilty of this.
Yeah.
But how obnoxious is it of me to think that
kind of egotistical, right? That we're like, let me fix you.
yeah,
let me fix you.
I know what's best for you.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
don't. All I can do is
And-
share my story. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that we have possession of and ownership over and control over is our own story.
And how empowering.
Yeah, it's empowering, it's beautiful. And I learned that from a massage client years ago. As I keep hitting my microphone, sorry, in the sound booth. I'm very expressive with my hands. But I learned that she was dying of cancer, and I got to work with her in the last 2 years of her life. And she was an actor, just like I was, so we connected, we got along really well. And she broke down one day and she said, Matt, I'm never gonna win a Tony. I'm never gonna be on Broadway like I'd hoped for. She said, but what I've learned is that I have my story, and that is the most beautiful legacy. So she made me promise to share her story with others. And that has reshaped my life, just that concept. My story is my legacy. You don't have to have $1 billion in the bank. You don't have to have changed the world or cured hunger in the world. You know, you don't have to have done something great. It's about the people you interacted with, the beautiful interactions you had when you were shown kindness and love, when you were honest and vulnerable and shared so that someone else could feel permitted to also share. And that's what I think we both have a passion for, that, trying to share. Yeah, so that other people who don't feel like their story means something, I'm here to tell you your story means something.
Absolutely.
Because, and I'm doing it, I'm trying to live by example by talking about stuff that is awkward, and I know there's a lot of stigma around HIV and crystal meth addiction and a lot of the things that I've gone through in my life, but I'm talking about it to give you the strength and the empowerment to do the same. And that's, so I hope that's my legacy. I hope that, you know, I shared stories and made people feel like their story was worthwhile as well.
That's drop the mic.
Yeah, mic drop.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's so huge, but it's small, but it's huge.
Yeah, I can't say it any better. It's small, but it's huge.
And you impact those around you, and they impact those around them, and then it just grows and grows.
Yeah.
And your vibration is just, you know, and those ebb and flows are, instead of being like this, now you're like up here,
right.
and then you're up here. So
yeah, and all I can feel is gratitude for all those things. And then, you know what, next week may bring one of these, but I'm gonna say, bring it on, because I know that I am strong enough. I know now. And I'm still working on this. I gotta tell myself this, but I'm strong enough to get through that. You know, I turned to addiction, I turned to drug use because I didn't believe I was strong enough to push through difficult times in my life. I didn't believe that I could come out the other side. So I numbed myself, I retreated, I ran away from it, I tried to just make it go away. Now what I'm learning is that in every emotion, this is what yin yang means actually, why there's the little dot of the different color in the yin yang symbols, is that inside all light and happiness is darkness.
Sure.
So when you push far enough through an emotion, you will find the opposite emotion. That means, and what that means to me is we will survive. We will survive through any emotion. If you are overcome with the most intense sadness and pain, if you push through and believe it, you'll find the most intense, beautiful light and happiness. That's what's on the other side of it. That's the balance of life. And how reassuring is that? How comforting is that if we push through and we believe I'm gonna come out the other side, on the other side of that is beauty. And vice versa, you know, beautiful. If you push too far into happiness and only focus on happiness, you're gonna find sadness. Because you can't always just be happy.
well, sure, you won't even know that
won't
you
even
are
know.
happy, honestly.
Yes, you
if
just
you're
kind
always
of
happy,
become
you're
numb.
just, if you're this,
Yeah.
you need the contrast.
You need the
do.
contrast.
But you know, you have control over the things that are happening. So owning that.
And of your perspective. You have control of your perspective, how you view it. You know, when if you stop at a red light, I love these moments. Now that I'm driving, now I'm not living in the city anymore, I have to deal with this and I have to actually practice what I preach when I get that light and I'm like, no! I go, take a breath and go, thank you. Because I don't know, maybe I would have gotten into an accident up ahead if I had made it through this light. Or maybe, okay, I have a moment to take a deep breath. Maybe I have a moment to smell some oils. Maybe I have a moment to just think and be happy.
Shoot a text off real fast.
Right, or get a text in. There's a moment for it. We all do that. Come on, everyone does that. There's a moment to feel gratitude and to realize this was a gift for me. You know, life gave me this for a reason. So.
And I think too that, you know, when you're working on this challenge that you're overcoming, and you think you got it. Yeah, I got this. I'm over it. And then the universe goes, "Are you sure?"
Yep, just a little
And
nudge,
then,
yeah.
Here it is again.
Right.
Are you sure you got this?
Are you
And then
sure?
when you're like, "Yeah, I got this," and it goes away.
Yep.
But like you get a couple reminders, and I
Constant reminders.
Speaking with one of my dear mentors, Angie Domenico, and she, I mean, oh my gosh, you think she's way up here and sunk way down, and she got to take her practice, her lifelong practice, and put it to work and be in that moment of such despair that she was ready to check out.
Yeah.
And pulled herself out of it because of the practices.
What a beautiful example to
yeah.
practice what you preach, to, you know, and
So-
that's what, yeah, in the wellness world, I think people who aren't wellness minded look at people like us that are like, I'm not going to listen to you because you're always sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
But when we then go through the dark stuff to show that, here, look, I did push through. I believed what I've been telling y'all, which is that if I push through and if I stay the course, that I will come out of it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful lesson.
And I mean, I don't, we could be here all day, I know, but I had open heart surgery after I had my son.
Wow.
And a few years ago. And, you know, I don't put that out there that often because
I didn't know
sometimes you
that.
get that, not many people do.
Wow.
But it was a moment where like, whoa, okay.
Talk about tough. Talk
And-
about.
Yeah, so, you know, we all have our things that we've had to go through. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and we come out. So yeah, and
So yeah,
that-
glossed over that, but-
no, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, see, when you're vulnerable, it's tough. It's tough to be raw. It's scary, but it becomes exciting. That was, I mean, you just practiced gratitude right there.
Oh my gosh,
by
yes.
trusting that she's sharing it with this whole audience, with me, and that good things will come out of that. The fact that you shared that, you've just touched other people who are in that same kind of boat. People who've had surgeries and scary things. You've now opened up a whole new market of people to connect with you. There's a reward coming for that. That's beautiful, just by being honest. And so we get to a better place, I find, which, you know, I never would have thought I would tell people that I'm HIV positive because there's so much stigma. And I used to think I'm disgusting, I'm gross. I'm gross for that. I'm dirty. That's a word that's used a lot in the community. But now I can say, actually, I feel cleaner, I feel happier, I feel stronger and more proud of myself than I ever have in my life because I'm talking honestly, and hopefully that'll help other people who are struggling with it. So.
Awesome. So tell us where to find you.
Yeah,
Please.
well, yes, so
Please,
The
please.
Natural Guinea Pig, that's GUINEAPIG. A lot of people don't know how to spell it. TheNaturalGuineaPig.com, Matt at The Natural Guinea Pig if you want to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you, any feedback. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook at The Natural Guinea Pig.
Under the street.
Yep.
Yeah, below, lower third if you missed the spelling.
Yes,
Yeah.
The Natural Guinea Pig. And then I have a podcast that I just launched called The Well Deserved Podcast. And this is where I have my chance in short little 10, 15-minute increments to share my real story. And I'm trying to get
There it is.
in there. There it is. I'm going to really be diving deep and talking about the day I was diagnosed with HIV, what got me into a crystal meth addiction, what happened in my life to start to get me out of that, the things. I'm going to share those stories because I'm still trying to get more and more vulnerable and deeper and deeper. And that's I want to keep diving for my own health and sanity and happiness. And then the byproduct of that, hopefully, is that it affects other people. But first and foremost, it's to keep me accountable. That's the honest truth, and to keep me on the path, on a good path, going forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Think of something you're grateful for.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
powerful.
you won't be able to stop with one thing.
Nope. It's
What-
an addictive thing. It's a good addiction to have.
So-
Being grateful.
Thank you for helping us to stop and
Absolutely.
have some gratitude for this moment right here, right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
Peace. Create the life of your dreams.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.